Hey everybody, this is Angela from Texas and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is the show that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. Today we are joined by our special guest, Alma. Thank you for being with us today, Alma.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here too.
All right, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas.
Yes, we did. Thank you, Angela.
Sure did.
All right, and today is a first. We are all together in this podcast recording.
In the studio.
In the studio, so let's see how this goes. It could be scary. All right, El Gato, last week I went 3-2, and you went 4-1. That makes our season record for me. It's 34 wins, 35 losses, and 1 push. For you, it is 36 wins, 33 losses, and 1 push. Not too bad, El Gato.
Not too bad. And who needs the Sharks in Las Vegas when they have 5 picks and a chick, right?
Exactly. I like that.
I think we all had a good week last week. We all had some solid picks, and a few of them didn't turn our way. But overall, we had a productive week.
I like that. You are exactly right. Let's get started. My first pick this week is going to be Eagles minus 6.5. They're at home playing against the New Orleans Saints. I like this game. Eagles offense took a hit with Lane Johnson's injury, but it should not be a factor against the Saints. The Eagles are coming back home after almost a month, whereas the Saints are playing their 4th away game out of the last 5. Saints have won 2 in a row, but against lesser teams, Cleveland and Atlanta. Look for Philly to avenge last week's loss with some good home cooking, and with that, wrap up the number 1 seed. What are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Eagles are going to play a solid game. I think they're going to wrap up that number 1 seed in the NFC. If for not the miracle play the Cowboys posted on that 3rd and 30 late in the game, midway through the 4th quarter, I think they would have sealed their home field advantage last week. I think they'll be on point, on focus this week against the Saints. The Saints struggle offensively, although they're still solid on the defensive side. But I think the Eagles will be on point, focused, and I think minus 6.5 is a good spot for them at home.
All right, sounds good. What are your thoughts on this game, Alma?
I'm actually going to go against both of y'all. Saints are looking for a W. They have a small glimmer of hope of making that wild card. Of course, there's a lot of things that factor into that. But Saints always seem to pull off a win when they need to. So I'm actually taking the Saints on this one. Nothing changes for the Eagles this week with the loss. So, go Saints.
All right. My number 2 pick is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals +1 at home against the Buffalo Bills. Is this the AFC Championship game? It could be. Bengals have not lost since October. The Bills are on a 6-game winning streak themselves, but their last few wins have been against teams that are struggling, and they are going on the road a 2nd week in a row against one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The winner of this game would almost ensure home field in a rematch later in the playoffs. This game, I believe, will come down to the last possession. Go Bengals. What are your thoughts on this game, Alma?
I'm going to go against you on this one as well. Bills will lose first round bye with the loss, and I'm thinking they want to stay there. Bills are itching for that Super Bowl appearance, and I think they got momentum on their side. Bills have a decent record while playing away of 6-2, so go Bills.
All right, what are your thoughts, El Gato?
Angela, I'm going to go with you on this one. Both teams are coming in on some good winning streaks. The Bills at 6 coming in, the Bengals at 7, and who would have thought the Bengals would be in the position they're in right now? Considering the way they started the season at 2-3, I mean, they really started very poorly. They've come on these last 10 games. Burrows and that offensive line, they've corrected that offensive line pretty much. The running game got going with the home game, and considering all that's on the line for this game and the home field advantage. I think the Bengals, getting that one spot at home is a good, it's a good spot for them. I'll take the Bengals +1. I think this will be, a final possession game, deep in the fourth quarter, field goal. I'll take the Bengals +1.
All right, sounds good. All right, Alma, do you have a third pick for us?
I do. I'm going to take KC by 13 over Denver. Broncos just look terrible. They're 1-7 when they're playing away. They have the second worst record in the AFC, and now no head coach. Some would say they may try this week going in, trying something new, but why at this point? Mahomes is clicking, and I'm thinking they're going to blow Denver out of KC. Plus, a KC win could possibly put them in first seed.
All right, what are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Alma, I knew the Broncos were awful. I didn't think they were that awful. The way you just described that. But you know what? I'm going to go with you on this one. I really hate those double-digit point spreads against the spread. But I think you're right. I think KC is going to offensively, play 4 quarters. Denver is just, I don't know, after last week's show against the Rams, they just, I don't know, they just didn't, they gave up. I've never seen an NFL team that prepared that poorly. Maybe it goes back to game planning and their coach. Maybe that's why there were, a few of their coaches have been fired. But I think KC will be play with a sense of urgency just to seal it, that home field advantage, and they'll play the entire 4 quarters to not allow Denver a backdoor cover. So I'm with you. The Chiefs -12.5.
All right. Well, I actually have the Chiefs -13. It might have changed, but are you buying down half a point, El Gato?
Well, no. I thought the most recent point spread was at -12.5.
We'll go with that.
As awful as Alma just described the Broncos, the line, she just may have moved the line just right now. I mean, who knows? They may have gone up to -13.
All right. Chiefs -12.5. I do not like double-digit spreads. I am going with the Denver Broncos on this one. Although Denver got blown out last week against the Rams, they did cover the 3 previous games before that, including a game against the Chiefs, where the Chiefs have only covered once in their last 4 games. Teams usually respond well after their head coach gets fired, so look for Denver to keep this game tighter than people think. Go Broncos! All right, El Gato, what about a 4th and 5th pick?
Well, I have a couple of picks. I've got the Lions at -6 at home against the Bears. Lions are still in playoff contention, so they have something to play for. The Bears have one of the worst defenses, the worst defense in the league, and they've got a bunch of injuries to their O-line. I think they're going to be missing 2 starters this week. I'm going to look for Detroit to exploit their defensive deficiencies, and I look for the Lions to put up at least 30+ points against the Bears. I don't think the Bears can match point for point with the Lions. So Lions at -6 is generous. I think this is a 2-touchdown game for the Lions.
All right, what are your thoughts on this game, Alma?
Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh, my. Okay, Lions playing for a wild card spot, and Bears probably just want to go home with the worst record in the NFC. I'm actually surprised on the spread that it's not a double digit, and I'm all over this one with the Lions taking the Bears by 6.
All right, well, I am with y'all on this one as well. Lions had a terrible game last week against the Panthers, but they are back home this game. Their playoff chances depend on a win. Lions offense find their rhythm again and win by a touchdown. Go Lions.
All right.
What about a 5th pick, El Gato?
All right, I've got the Patriots at -3 against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins, they came into the season with high hopes of being contenders in that AFC East. The last 4 games, they've dropped them. They played some tough teams, but they're on a 4-game skid right now. Tua now in concussion protocol for the second time this year. I don't even know if they'll probably shut him down for the rest of the year. The Patriots, on the other hand, coming off of 2 really devastating losses, but you never underestimate a Belichick coach team. They need to win this game to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. They're at -3 against the Dolphins. If you can get them at -2.5, that's even better. I think with the Patriots at home, I believe, right? At -3 with something really to play for after this 2-game skid that they're on against a Dolphins team that's really reeling, playing with a backup quarterback. I'm talking about the Dolphins now. I think this is a good spot for the Patriots. It's posted at -3, but if you can buy it down to 2.5, even better.
All right. Any comments on this game, Alma?
I am going to go with you on this one. With Tua out, I'm just not sure how Dolphins would be able to pull it off. Plus, I believe Patriots need to win the next 2 games to have a chance at wild card. So, I believe they're going to be playing it out. There's a lot weighing on this game, and it will be an exciting one, but go Patriots.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this pick. Although Bridgewater is at the helm for the Dolphins, he does have the talent to get the job done. Even without Tua, the Dolphins have more talent on offense than the Patriots and should score enough to win. Miami can wrap up a wild card spot with a win and a Jets loss. Go Miami Dolphins.
All right.
All right. Do you have a bonus bet for us, El Gato?
Yes, I do. Thanks for asking. I'm on a 2-game win streak, on a 2-week win streak with these money line parlays. So if the new listeners that keep tuning in, we had a bunch of listeners last week, as a matter of fact. These money line parlays, if you're betting them, you should be cashing in picking up the money bag at the window. And for this week, I'm going to pick the Eagles over the Saints, money line, Lions over the Bears, and I'll pick the Giants over the Colts. So if you combine these 3 teams in a parlay bet, Eagles, Lions, Giants, money line, a simple $25 bet, pick up $41 at the window.
All right, sounds good. I like that. All right, El Gato, do you have any final comments for us?
Well, this is going to be another outstanding NFL weekend. We've got a bunch of games that matter. I mean, just look at the Bills and the Bengals that are playing. Got the Chiefs that I think they're just going to demolish Denver and solidify that home field advantage. We got the Lions against the Bears. I mean, the Lions, who would have thought? I mean, the Lions, okay? If they win, they're still in playoff contention. We got the Patriots in this podcast pick. They beat the Dolphins to continue their playoff run. We got the Eagles with a win against the Saints. They can seal home field advantage in the NFC. And it's going to be a lot of good football. I just can't hardly wait till it starts.
It's going to be an exciting weekend of football. Exciting. Cannot wait for all these games and see who's going to come through.
All right. Before I do my final comment, I would like to wish everyone a safe and happy New Year to both of y'all that are with me here in the studio and to all our listeners.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Chick. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also, hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. Thank you to Alma for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I have one shout out.
Okay, go for it.
David Hughes in the Richardson, Texas area. The picks are now available.
All right. Make sure to join us next week. As always, thank you to El Gato for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3.
Break.